degree, vase, knowledge, what actually gets you success? I get asked this question all the time, Damon. Should I get a degree or should I just focus on learning? And I want you to really listen because this isn't about the safe answer. This is about reality. This is about the raw truth nobody wants to tell you. Too many people spend 6 years chasing a piece of paper, thinking it's going to open doors, thinking it's going to define their life. But let me tell you something. I didn't build FUBU with a fancy degree. I built it with knowledge. Knowledge about people, knowledge about the market, knowledge about how to create something people would care about. That's what changes your life, not the letters after your name. Here's the thing. Degrees are valuable. Don't get me wrong. They teach structure, discipline, sometimes technical skills, but knowledge is what you carry with you when nobody's watching. Knowledge is what you apply at 2 a.m. When your business isn't making sense, when your dream seems impossible, when every door is closed, knowledge is the muscle that makes you move forward when the world is telling you to stop. And most people stop at the degree thinking that's enough. They graduate, they get the diploma, and they wait for opportunity to knock. That's a dangerous game because the world isn't going to wait for you. Opportunities don't care about your degree. They care about what you can do, what you can create. What value you bring. I want you to think about the people who inspire you, the ones who've really changed the game. And do you think they got there because someone handed them a piece of paper? No. They got there because they studied their craft, because they were relentless, because they refused to settle for just knowing. They applied, they practiced, they learned from every mistake. And they kept moving forward. That's knowledge. That's power. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers. And here's the part most people miss. They confuse knowledge with intelligence. You can be intelligent, read every book, have 100 degrees, but if you don't apply what you know, if you don't take action, if you don't get your hands dirty, you're just storing information. You're not creating impact. You're not building legacy. You're not living your potential. Knowledge becomes valuable only when it meets action. That's the secret. That's the hard part. And that's where most people fail. They stop at learning. They don't go all the way to doing. Let me be real with you. You're going to have to make choices that nobody understands. You're going to have to take risks that scare the hell out of you. You're going to have to bet on yourself when everyone else bets against you. And in those moments, a degree doesn't hold your hand. Knowledge does. Knowledge gives you confidence. Knowledge gives you courage. Knowledge gives you the ability to see opportunity where others see walls. But here's the challenge. You've got to earn that knowledge. You've got to put in the work, the sweat, the late nights, the mistakes. You've got to immerse yourself in it so deeply that it becomes a part of who you are. So don't just chase the degree. Don't just chase the piece of paper. Chase the skill. Chase the mastery. Chase the understanding that makes you stand out. Build your mind. Build your craft. Build your ability to solve problems, because the world rewards the person who can deliver results. not the person who can recite a syllabus. Be the person who knows what to do and does it better than anyone else. That's the real advantage. That's what gets you success. You've got to take responsibility for your own learning. Nobody else can do it for you. Don't let anyone tell you that a degree guarantees a future. Don't let anyone convince you that skipping school is a shortcut. The truth. It's all about how hungry you are for knowledge, how willing you are to learn, adapt, and grow. If you combine knowledge with relentless action, there's nothing you can't achieve. You have to trust yourself, trust your journey, and commit to being better than you were yesterday. Because at the end of the day, success isn't about a diploma. It's about the person you've become, the problems you've solved, and the impact you leave behind. Success comes to those who do, not those who just know. And that's why knowledge will always beat a degree when it comes to creating a life worth living. A knowledge plus action. That's the equation that separates dreamers from achievers. Too often, people are told that earning a degree is the golden ticket to success. They spend years memorizing theories, attending lectures, and passing exams, believing that the moment they hold that piece of paper, the doors to opportunity will swing wide open. But let me tell you something, a degree on its own won't carry you through the real world. Knowledge in its raw form is only potential. It's what you do with it. How you apply it, how you turn it into results, that determines your trajectory. Every day, I meet people with impressive resumes who struggle because they never learned how to translate what they know into action. On the other hand, I've met countless self-taught individuals who may not have a formal degree, but their understanding, their grit, and their willingness to act on what they know propels them past the competition. Action is the bridge between knowledge and success. You can read every book, every tutorial, but attend every seminar. But if you never step into the arena, if you never put theory into practice, that knowledge stays dormant. Think about the entrepreneurs you admire. Every single one of them applied what they knew. They experimented, they failed, they adapted, and they kept moving forward. That willingness to act, to take calculated risks, to turn insights into tangible results, that's the heartbeat of success. And the more knowledge you accumulate, the more powerful your actions become. Knowledge without action is like fuel without an engine. It's wasted potential. Action without knowledge is blind. But when you combine the two, you momentum, you create leverage, you create unstoppable growth. I want you to really absorb this. The world doesn't reward intentions. It rewards outcomes. Your ability to act on what you know separates those who dream from those who achieve. Knowledge gives you options. It opens doors, illuminates pathways, and allows you to see opportunities where others see obstacles. But action is what walks through those doors, what travels those pathways, and what turns opportunities into reality. Many people stop at learning because it's comfortable, because it feels productive. They buy books, they attend webinars, they network with like-minded individuals, and they feel accomplished. But if you never apply what you've learned, you're just collecting information. You're preparing to live a life that may never arrive. There's another layer to this equation, persistence. Action alone isn't enough if you give up at the first sign of resistance. Knowledge gives you a foundation, a framework to understand why things fail, how to adjust, and how to keep going. It teaches you that mistakes are not roadblocks. They are lessons, data points that guide your next move. Every successful person has faced rejection, failure, and doubt. The difference is that they took the knowledge they had, combined it with consistent action, and refused to stop. They understood that success isn't instantaneous. It's cumulative, small, consistent steps guided by informed decisions compound over time. That's the power of knowledge plus action. Now, let's talk about confidence. Action fueled by knowledge builds confidence in a way that no degree ever could. When you act, you test your understanding, you stretch your capabilities, and you learn in real time. Each challenge you overcome, each problem you solve, reinforces your belief in yourself. That confidence is magnetic. People recognize it, they trust it, they want to be around it. And here's the kicker to confidence. And if allows you to take bigger risks, to tackle opportunities that seem out of reach, to innovate and lead in ways that others won't dare. Without action, knowledge alone can make you hesitant, unsure, and stuck. It can even create fear that you'll fail if you step outside the classroom or the safe zone. Action breaks that cycle. Finally, I want to challenge you to measure your success differently. Don't look at the degrees on your wall or the certificates in your hand and think that's your worth. Look at what you've created, what you've contributed, and how you've applied what you've learned. That's the real measure. Knowledge gives you the tools, but action builds the structure. Knowledge inspires ideas. Action builds results. Knowledge shapes your vision. Action manifests it. And when you combine them, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Every moment you delay turning knowledge into action is a moment where opportunity passes by. The world moves fast. Competition is fierce, and success waits for no one. You have to step up, take what you know, and do something with it. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. It's not about having everything figured out. It's about starting, learning, adjusting, and moving forward relentlessly. And when you internalize that knowledge plus action is greater than any degree, you start to see life differently, and you start to take responsibility for your own outcomes. You start to embrace challenges as growth opportunities, and you start to understand that your potential is only limited by your willingness to act on what you know. Mastery and impact over formal education. That's the truth. That changes everything. Too often, we equate success with degrees, diplomas, and certificates. We're conditioned to believe that if we spend years in class, memorize formulas, pass exams, and follow a curriculum, life will automatically hand us opportunities. But let me tell you something, success isn't measured by paper. It's measured by what you can do, the problems you can solve, and the value you create. You can have the fanciest degree in the world, but if you can't translate that knowledge into action, if you can't make an impact, it won't take you far. Mastery is about understanding, practicing, refining, and applying what you know until it produces results. Impact is about how what you create changes the lives of others, improves situations, and leaves a mark that lasts. When I started FewBU, I didn't have a degree that validated my ideas. What I had was mastery over my craft and a relentless desire to make people see what I saw. I knew the market. I understood my audience. And I kept learning every single day. I applied that knowledge, tested it, adjusted, and repeated until it worked. That's what mastery looks like. It's not about the hours you sit in a lecture hall. It's about the hours you dedicate to becoming excellent at what you do. It's about developing a skill set so sharp, so refined, that people take notice. That door's open because of what you bring to the table, not because of what's printed on a piece of paper. Impact is the natural companion of mastery. When you master something, you have the power to affect change. You have the ability to create solutions where others see problems. People who chase degrees, often without mastering skills, often find themselves lost in the crowd. They know concepts but cannot execute. Those who focus on mastery, who refine their abilities and apply knowledge, produce results that can't be ignored. And when your work produces real impact, you earn credibility, respect, and opportunities that no degree can buy. Mastery and impact are currencies that the real world values far more than formal education alone. Think about every leader, innovator, or entrepreneur you admire. What do they have in common? It's not just degrees. It's the depth of knowledge, the commitment to mastering their craft, and their relentless drive to make a difference. They've studied, they've failed, they've tried again, and they've refined their skills until they used that excellence to create impact, whether it's through a product, a company, an idea, the purpose of media, or a movement. And here's the key: they didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for validation from a diploma or a title. They focused on mastery and impact. That focus is what separates those who dream from those who achieve, those who hope from those who build legacies. You also have to understand that mastery isn't instant. It requires patience, resilience, and consistency. You have to be willing to put in the work every day to improve incrementally, to learn from failure, and to adapt. It's about becoming so good at what you do that you can't be ignored. And impact doesn't happen by accident. It comes from intentional action, from creating value for others, from making a difference in real situations. When you combine mastery with impact of making money, you position yourself as someone who produces results, someone who can solve problems, someone who others naturally gravitate toward for solutions. That's how success is earned in the real world. So if you're standing at a crossroads, wondering whether to chase a degree or focus on skills, remember this: degrees can open doors, but mastery and impact will carry you through them. Invest in learning deeply, practice relentlessly, and apply your knowledge to create meaningful results. Focus on becoming excellent at something that matters, and use that excellence to leave a tangible mark. When you do that, you're not just preparing for success, you're creating it. Mastery and impact are your real credentials, and they are the true measure of what you can achieve in life.